what about a stock tip, right? Like when I think about that growth in San Francisco, right? Like that 5.2% home price appreciation, I think of, well, those are tech billionaires, right? Like the amount of money people are making in San Francisco has greatly increased over time.
Absolutely.
And that's what's driven up those high prices. I think of that high price appreciation in New York and DC also, right? High wage places, right? So what is a stock tip for a city of something that would all of a sudden drive up wages that would increase home price appreciation at a greater rate?
I love how you broke that down in those markets, showing how wages, median incomes rising is a big driver of home prices rising, right? Well, we want to find that indicator of what could be a change agent for raising median incomes in a city. And then we would want to invest there. The greatest change agent, if you look across successful downtowns right now, the greatest change agent for rising home prices and rising rents and rising median incomes is a successful downtown revitalization. You look at it, and for any of our friends who are in Tampa or Nashville or Austin or Denver or Charlotte, some of these downtowns that have come online and revitalized, let's talk about what the rents and the home prices are in those neighborhoods that are maybe 15 miles or less from that downtown. Guarantee you those have gone up substantially, right? So if you have the opportunity to invest in a market that has a revitalizing downtown, that is the greatest opportunity for change and raising median incomes, and raising median incomes is that stock tip, so that you can choose that city that is going to even outperform the data that we just showed here.
Yeah, correct. I mean, you look at these other super high average home price, places, San Francisco, DC, New York, all have well-established urban centers. The urban center becomes this flywheel of economic activity that attracts more talent, that attracts more companies, and wages go up, and therefore people can pay more for homes. And what we believe is that actually what we see coming down the pike, right? Like it's no longer kind of a question, right? No. It's this idea that out of these cities that have a home price that, Jacksonville already has an average home price appreciation that is spectacular because so many people want to live here already. And yet the downtown, the urban core here has yet to really come online. It is not a 24/7 live, work, play place.
Right.
And what you look at for that to happen is when you get 10,000 residents inside an urban core. That is when that kind of tips the developers that are developing for services and commercial and whatnot. They start building storefronts. The developers that are building for residential are, start building residential to serve those storefronts. And it just kind of starts feeding itself right around 10,000 residents. And Jacksonville, who has forever been at like 3,000 residents, right now is somewhere in the like 7,000 to 8,000 resident
Very good.
kind of like range.
Yes.
And that's happened in a really short amount of time. Like that's happened since I've been sitting in this chair.
Over the last few years. Before that, for the previous 15 years that I was here, it's just stayed right around 3,000, 3,500. Do you know when we're going to cross that 10,000 residents? Next year.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
The administration has come out, downtown Jacks, the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, you just look at the construction that's going on downtown right now. You see the units, you multiply that times the average number of people that are going to be in the unit. You're over 10,000 residents in Jacksonville next year.
It's already baked in.
Yeah, it's already baked in. These projects are being developed, right? I mean, JWB just completed one of our downtown projects, and that's 24 units right there. So call that, 40 more residents there. And for those who came on the Not Your Average Investor tour, which we did last February, we toured these neighborhoods and we found one neighborhood in Jacksonville downtown that is going to be more densely populated than the city of Miami is when it comes to the residents that are staying from the projects that are happening right there. So so that when we talk about like urgency, I want people to hear this. Like there is an urgency when it comes to getting in before downtown Jacksonville blows up. Right. And the metrics you can look at population growth for downtown. Fun fact, Tampa, wonderful downtown, super successful. They have about 11,000, 12,000 residents downtown. Okay. So it's not like we are miles and miles away from a successful downtown. Jacksonville, according to our administration, is going to be over 10,000 next year. And the other thing I want you to look at is how much construction is going on in a downtown at that time. I'll leave you with this stat. I was just in Washington, D.C. not too long ago. Super successful downtown. Had a blast there with my family. Downtown Washington, D.C. has $1 billion of construction going on in downtown, which is a ton. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Until you realize that downtown Jacksonville right now, little old Jacksonville, has over $4 billion in active projects going on right now. $4 billion. So just put this together, right? We're going to cross 10,000 residents next year, $4 billion of projects that are happening right now. This is that urgent moment to get in before rents and home prices go up.
That's the stock tip, right? That's the, hey, 3M is about to come out with Gorilla Glass stock tip, right? Like that is, Apple is about to launch a phone that nobody has ever heard of. That's going to completely change things, right? That is insider trading in a world where insider trading is actually completely legal.
It's encouraged.
Which is encouraged,
yeah.
Which is the world of real estate, right? So what we are saying is, number one, know your fundamentals, right? If you're going to invest in a city, know what you're looking for. You look for average home sales price, you look for rent to price ratio, you look for population growth, and you look for average home price appreciation. That's going to paint a picture of how much your home is already going to appreciate, how much cash flow you're going to get on a monthly basis. And then you want to build a plan for yourself that allows you to stay in the game as long as possible to get as much home price appreciation as you can, because that's the true wealth builder, because cash flow will continue to go up as long as you have a team. And then if you want to take it a step further, you want to look at, is there a place that is doing well enough right now to invest in? And it's also going to blow up so that in 2 years, 3 years, I'm going to feel like I got a great deal. And what we're saying is that the thing that makes that happen is the resurgence, the emergence of a thriving urban core that wasn't there before. And Jacksonville happens to be a place where all the numbers point to that about to happen. All the current numbers point to a good place to invest. And it also has a team that you can believe in, that you can be a part of, that you can come kick the tires with. And if you want to talk to that team, go to chatwithjwb.com. How did I do, Greg?
I think you just nailed it, like Will Ferrell right before he blacked out in Old School.
I did black out of that one.